Okay, so it's the first day. You've seen the prerequisites and you know what I'm planning on achieving today. So what I want to show you now is how I can find the niches. I'm going to start looking for some niches that we're going to promote. Now, I'm going to use ClickBank, and I'm already on the ClickBank marketplace. Remember, if you haven't got an account for ClickBank, go and sign up. It's free to do so as an affiliate. Now, what I want to do here is I want to find some products to promote, and you can see down the left-hand side here, there are plenty of categories that we can look through. There's thousands and thousands of products, there really are. Now, I'm going to sort of evaluate 3 different niches, and the idea behind this is what I'm looking for is I'm looking for something that's ideally an evergreen market, which means that people are going to buy it today, they're going to buy it tomorrow, and they'll buy it next year. It's something like parenting. There's always people becoming parents and wanting to know how to deal with their children. Dieting, always people want to know how to diet. Debt, always people getting into debt, wanting to get out. You know, get a job. There's always people looking for jobs. Things like that. I'm looking for evergreen markets. But on top of that, I'm looking for one with decent products in. So yes, an evergreen market is great, but if the products I find in it are terrible, then I can't use ClickBank. I'd have to look elsewhere for products. So I want to find good quality products as well. I also want to look for something that people will buy online. Now remember, not everything people will buy online. I know from experience, having set up some websites in the past, that in certain markets people just do not buy online. They go on the internet for information, but they don't actually buy. So when I do my keyword research, I'm going to be looking for buying keywords. And when I find these keywords, what I want is I want low competition but high traffic. And I'll explain that in detail when we find the product and go and look at keywords. So, let's have a think. For my first product, right, what I'm going to do is let's go into health and fitness. I'm going to take the approach for my first product of thinking about embarrassing problems. Now, there are problems that none of us like to talk about. And these are the sort of problems that somebody isn't going to go into a shop. You know, they're not going to pop into the local bookshop and say, "Excuse me, have you got a book on?" Or, you know, they're not going to go to the drugstore or chemist and go, "Can I have something for?" You know, embarrassing problems are something people love to buy online because it's anonymous. Let's face it, you know, most people will be embarrassed and uncomfortable about going into a drugstore or bookshop and looking for information to help them solve that sort of problem. So embarrassing problems are very, very good. They're very profitable online. So I'm going to take that approach first of all. You know, the sort of thing that people want answers for. Now, there's a few there, but I'm going to look. I'm not going to go into the men's health market. You can see there's solutions here. These apparently sell very well, so that might be something to worth looking at as well. The difficulty with something like this particular niche is it can be hard to promote it, as certain places don't allow you to promote this sort of thing. So I'm going to stick with things that I know I can promote pretty much anywhere. Let's drill down again into women's health and have a look what we've got here. Yeast infections, cellulite, breast enlargement, fibroids, ovarian cysts, yeast infection. Right, so there's a few things here. I'm going to pick fibroids. So we now go to the Google external keyword tool, and as you can see, I've signed in. If you haven't got a Google account, please go and get one. You'll find it incredibly useful, and make sure you sign in because you get more information. Over here, always check exact match, uncheck broad. You want to know exactly what you find. If you go for broad, what happens is if my keyword is "what is fibroids," for example, any sentence that someone types into Google that has the words "what is" and "fibroids" in will appear. Whereas exact, I'm only finding out how many people are typing in "what is fibroids," so it's much more better for me. Over here, you can filter by country if you want. If we're doing CPA offers, we may want to look for specific country traffic, but I'm going to go for United States. That gives me a good idea. They're one of the biggest markets. Global searches, I always set that to minimum of 800. I don't want keywords with like one search a month because frankly that's pointless. there's no point me targeting that keyword because I'm not going to make any money. You know, unless that one person a month happens to be someone that spends thousands and thousands online, which is unlikely. So I tend to go for 800. 800 is a decent amount of traffic. You get it, you know, in the top spot at 800, you're going to get sort of 3-4 visitors a day, which is enough that, you know, you should be able to make a sale every sort of 2-3 days from it. Okay, so we type in our keyword, which is fibroids. I'm going to click search. And this will come up with some information. Fingers crossed, there you are. It's found some keywords. It's found just 100 keywords today. You can see here, fibroids itself has 60,000 searches, so it's quite good. Now, let's go down to here. This competition figure here. What this is telling me, this isn't how many sites are competing actually in Google. What this is telling me is how many people are competing to pay for advertising. So when it's got high, that means people are paying. There's a lot of people competing for the advertising. When it's down here and it says low, that means not very many people are competing for the advertising. This is an indicator of whether it's a profitable keyword. If the competition is high, people are paying for adverts, which means they must be making money in order to pay for adverts. Let's face it, if an advert's not making you money, you don't pay for it. So medium and high keywords, I pretty much know are going to be profitable. People are going to be buying products through those keywords. The global monthly searches, you can see what they are here. This is across the world. This is in the United States. I ignore these 3 columns, but this one here is also interesting for me because it tells me roughly what the cost per click is. So this is if somebody buys an AdSense AdWords ad for fibroids, the average cost per click is going to be about £1.07. So that's about what $1.60, $1.70, something like that. So this gives you a good idea of the value. So what you can do is if you do decide to put AdSense on, you know you're going to get a percentage of that. How much, nobody knows, but it gives you an idea of the value of the keyword. So you can see here that fibroids during pregnancy, for example, is not many people are interested in competing for it, but it's quite a valuable keyword for cost per click. So now what we do is we look through these keywords. Now you can click on any of the headings to sort it. So I could click it here to sort by global monthly searches if I wanted to. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for what's called buying keywords. Now here's one here that my mouse has miraculously ended up on. Let's just copy that. Fibroid treatment. People typing in fibroid treatment, they are someone that is looking for a treatment. They're somebody who has fibroids and they want a solution. So that's a good buying keyword. Somebody who types in what are fibroids, for example, that's somebody that's more likely looking for information because they think they might have it or someone they know has it. So they are less likely to buy, but there's still a small chance. Somebody, for example, that types in just fibroids, that's way too broad. You know, you pretty much know anyone doing that. It could be anything. So that sort of broad keyword isn't worth targeting. We want to target keywords like fibroid treatment, and there's fibroids treatment. And you can see here that there's 1,900 searches across the world, and the cost per click is £1.24, so getting up to sort of almost a couple of dollars. And fibroids treatment, it's $1.35, again, you know, close to a couple of dollars. So yeah, that's not too bad. So next we go over to Google, and we do 2 things here. Firstly, we type the keyword in by itself. Let's just get rid of that. Do not look at this number up here. We don't care about that number. What we're looking for here is we're looking to see what's in the top 10. What we want to find here is it a keyword that we can realistically rank for? You've got Wikipedia, WebMD and NHS there, probably fairly authoritative sites. That's probably fairly authoritative. And there's an article there. So what we're looking for is we're looking for user-generated content. If you find a keyword and there's tons and tons of like YouTube videos and Squidoo pages and things like that, then wow, you've got a goer, and you know, go for it, buy it, you know, get that keyword because it's a great one. This one, there seems to be some fairly fairly established sites, but that doesn't mean it's not doable. So what we do is we can do in title colon, and we search like that, and this gives us an idea of how many sites are actually competing for that keyword. These are the people that have in their title fibroid treatment, and you can see there's less than 6,000, which is good. The lower this number is, the better. So this is a entirely doable keyword, to be perfectly honest with you, and it looks quite profitable. So what I would do is you can either create a notepad. Where's my notepad gone? Or you can write it down or do it in a spreadsheet. It's entirely up to you. So what I would do is I would write fibroid treatment is my keyword. There was 1,900 searches a month, 5,970 competing sites, and the cost per click was, where's it gone? There, 124. So £1.24. So that gives you an idea of the keywords. And what I'm going to do is I would go through, and I'll do the same with another keyword. What are fibroids? What I'm thinking here with the keywords is not just about buying keywords. I'm thinking about content for my site as well. What are fibroids would be a very good piece of content for the site. Now you can see there, what are fibroids had how many searches? 2,400. So 2,400, and competing sites it had 1680. So that's a very good one, and that was 0.96. Oops, that was 96 pence a bid, wasn't it? Yes, it was. So I'd find some more as well. Again, I'm thinking about keywords for my site here, so I've got to consider that as well. So let's select that one, and we put that one in as well. Symptoms of fibroids. It's 12,000. That's still doable. That's still very doable. So that had 2,900. So that was 2,900, 12,300, and what was that? 0.64. 0.64. And this is all we do. We just go through and we find some good keywords. Let's have a look at another one. Let's have a look at this one. In fact, let's look at this one down here. Fibroids during pregnancy. Let's check what that keyword's like as well. So brilliant, that's a good one. It's 1,000, 1,000, and what was it? £2.37. And how many was that? 648. So that's a good keyword to target. You might even put an AdSense on that page as well, because you know that's close to $3 a click. So you could earn as much as $1 or so, and there's not a lot of competing sites. So that's how I would approach this, and I'll just keep doing that until I got sort of 10, 15 decent keywords. So that's one that I would definitely target. Now, what else could we do? Another market that I know is quite good is let me spell it right. Tinnitus. I stumbled across something whilst I was meandering around the web the other day, and I found that this is actually something that's very, very popular. Surprisingly so, actually. It's a big problem. I suffer it from a little myself. I've never really thought about it, and I happened to be talking to someone and realised that this was out here, and thought, oh, this is quite interesting. So I've not really looked into this market, so let's just type in tinnitus and see what it comes back with. Right, so we've got 112 results, and again, yeah, we've got some good buying keywords. Treatment for tinnitus, that looks alright. Tinnitus treatment, tinnitus miracle, that's obviously one of the products. That's worrying that that's there. Review system, so yeah, okay, this looks like it could again be a market worth considering. So we can go in, we can do our usual. Let's just check what the competing sites is. That's reasonably high. That's higher than simple, but that's entirely possible. And of course, we can search and look at the top 10. And again, you've got a lot of yeah, you've got quite a lot of authority sites. So you might find that could be a little bit harder to tackle because there is more authority sites there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a bit of time going through this. I'm obviously not going to sit here and bore you to death as I pour through all these and try and find something of interest. But that's what I'm going to be doing. And I will post the results on jasonejohns.com in a little bit later on once I've done it. It might be in the morning, it depends on how long it takes me to do this. One thing I will do though is I'll just talk to you about domain names. Now one thing I'm going to do is obviously we're going to want to register a domain name. So here we want to find something relating to our keyword. So if I go back to, if I just do fibroids again and do a search, I want to find keywords relating to this really, don't I? So one of the ones that I thought would be good to target would be fibroid treatment. So we just copy that, we go over here, and we just have a look, see what's available. Now obviously, you know, you're not going to get the best keyword every time, but you see those are gone. Fibroids treatment, let's see what that had. See whether that's got anything good for us. They're all gone as well. Right, now see what you can do now is you can either go for something completely different or you can be a bit more creative. You can see, well, is there any other fibroid treatment and another keyword? You can go through and see if that's there, because that might help you, because then you can target all three with it. You know, but alternatively, oh, where we gone? There we are. What you can do is you can put a letter at the end, fibroidtreatmentx.com, for example. You could do that. Or you could put a word, tips or info. So let's just see fibroid treatment info, see if that's around .com. See if that's available. All it takes is being a little bit creative. Now, if you have a problem with this, then contact me directly, and I'll spend a bit of time with you either over Skype, or I'll record you a little video, or reply to your email or whatever to try and help you out. But you can see here, fibroid treatment help. Is that .com available? Let's have a look. Now I quite like that one. That looks like a good one for me. So I'm just going to write that down on my little notebook. I'm a bit of a Luddite, I must confess, in that I like my pen and paper. So a lot of this, where you've seen me doing it on Notepad on here on the computer so that you can see what I'm doing, what I actually do is I use a pen and paper and I write it all down, because for me that's an awful lot easier. I can see that all at once, and I can have it next to the computer and look at that while I'm looking at the screen, and I can carry it around with me and sort of scratch my head and think about it. So it's what works best for you. Some people prefer the spreadsheets, some people prefer the writing down. It's your choice, but keep yourself organised. What I'd recommend is if you create a folder on your computer, just call it something like 90-day affiliate challenge, and then what you can do is you can create subfolders underneath it. So you might create one called niche 1 fibroids, and then you'd put your keywords. You'd have keywords.xls in there. Then you might create a folder called for your articles, a folder for your autoresponder, sequence, messages. You might have another file in there which details affiliate products and links, things like that. And then you'd have a second niche 2, whatever it might be, and so on. Now that's a good way of organising yourself, but the key is to make sure that you're organised. One thing you can do here is you can save the keywords. So if I click save all, it will export this as a CSV to my computer, and then I can keep it. So I would export this and save it so that I can refer to it any time without having to come back and redo the search. You can also then use Excel to sort it and do all sorts of fancy things in it, you know, to help you find what you want in it. So, right, my goal now is, I'm not sure about the tinnitus niche. I know it is profitable from what I've seen, so maybe I'm going to have a think and see what I can come up with. And what I will do is I will find myself 3 possible niches. I will evaluate the niches, and I'll talk about those a bit later on today. I will then look at domain names, find some potential domain names, and I will also look at what I can do with some other products. So, for example, if I'm going into this market, I pick 3 products and pick them in order of how good I think they're going to be. So I might say, right, well, I know this is very popular, so I'll have that first. That'll be my primary product, then this one, and then this one, for example. So I'll do that, and I'll get 3. So that's my goal. And then what I will do at the end of it is I will pick one niche, and that's the niche I'm going to go forwards for first of all. And then the other 2 we can use next week or the week after and build further niches from them. So that's our goal. We're going to see what I can find, and I'll be back later on and tell you how I've got on. Remember, if you're following this through with me, go ahead and do some of this yourself. See what you can find. Talk to me via email or via my blog. Leave a comment. Remember, it's jasonejohns.com. Leave a comment here on the post that I'm about to put with this video, and I will talk to you. I'll answer your comments, and together we can find some profitable niches. Now, don't worry. There's loads and loads out there. There really, really are. And I can help you try and understand what you need to do, how you can find a profitable niche, and so on. So I really want to give you a bit of a helping hand here in getting going. So this is one of the important things. And finding the right products and the right keywords makes a difference between this being profitable and not. Yeah, it's very, very important. I know this isn't glamorous, it's not interesting, it's boring, it's tedious, it's hard work. Yes, it is. There are tools you can buy, which perhaps we'll look at later on, that will speed the process up. But for now, it's boring, tedious work, but it's a necessary foundation stone. And by doing it this way, you are understanding exactly how this works and how to do it. And by doing that, you are making sure that you can do it right. And what we're going to do is make sure that you've got this foundation stone, you've got the right products with the right keywords, which means you're going to be able to earn from it, and you're going to pick a niche that is going to be profitable. So that's it for now. I'm going to go off and find my niches, and I'll come back later on, post some results here, and look forward to seeing your comments and your thoughts and how you feel we're getting on. So I'll talk to you later on.